Yo, what up YouTube? Explosive Movement Patterns here, back again with yet another video, and in this video today, I'm going to be discussing with you 5 of my favorite drills for improving top end speed / max velocity. And for this video, I'm going to focus purely on sprint drills. I'm not going to talk about things in the weight room. It's just going to be 5 sprint drills you can do to help improve your max velocity, because everybody wants to get faster, everybody wants to have better top end speed, and these are 5 drills that will definitely help you improve that area. The first one is going to seem pretty simple, pretty straightforward, but it's a great starting point. And it's just going to be max effort sprints where you're running a distance that allows you to hit top speed and maintain that top speed. For most athletes, you're going to need at least 40 meters. So anywhere from 40 to 80 meters will be good for working on building up the top speed, holding it, and maintaining it. Going further, you start to work a little bit more on speed endurance. And while speed endurance can be beneficial for top end speed in terms of being able to maintain form, for the purposes of this video, I'm going to mainly focus on things that isolate top end speed to a greater degree. So just hit a distance that allows you to hit top end speed and hold it, and then you cut it off before you hit any real deceleration. It's important during these sprints, obviously, that you're fresh and that you are ready to go for each rep, because it's all about quality over quantity. You don't want to be too tired during the reps, because then your ground contact time is going to get slower, and you're not going to be working on the specific force and these specific impulses associated with top end speed sprinting. So the first drill is just going to be sprinting a distance that allows you to hit top end speed, hold it, and then you cut it off before you get into deceleration and speed endurance. The next drill is flying sprints. You've seen me do these, you've seen me talk about these before. All it is, you have a fly zone and an acceleration zone. In the acceleration zone, you're gradually building up to top speed. You hit top speed, and then you hold it for the fly zone. The reason I like these drills so much are because they purely isolate the top end speed component of sprinting, because you're just accelerating gradually, building up to top speed, and then you're really focusing on hitting it hard over the fly zone, hitting top speed and maintaining that top speed, so it isolates the maximum velocity component. The other thing I like about it are they're pretty easy to progress. When you're just starting off, you can start off with shorter flies, like 10 to 15 meters. As you progress throughout the season through your training cycle and you get better at hitting top speed and maintaining that top speed, you can gradually build out the distance. So now you can go, instead of 10 to 15 meters, you can go 20 to 30 meters. And it's just a great way of progressing and continually to build in terms of your training. So yeah, I really like flies. You isolate the component of maximum velocity, and then there's a pretty simple way of progressing them. The next exercise is going to be sprint, float, sprint variations. You've also seen me do these on my channel, but a sprint, float, sprint is you have a section of sprinting, a section of floating, a section of sprinting, and then a little acceleration zone at the start. The little acceleration zone, you just kind of build up. You hit it hard for the first zone of sprinting, allowing yourself to get to top speed. So again, you're working on that maximum velocity mechanics. You're working on the specific ground contact times associated with top end speed sprinting. Then with the float phase, what I really like about this is you're trying to maintain that speed, but in a relaxed fashion. Usually with top end speed sprinting, sometimes people have a tendency to tighten up and it slows them down. With sprint, float, sprint, whenever you hit the float section, you really have to focus on being relaxed and maintaining that speed, but doing so in a relaxed fashion. If somebody was watching you do the drill, it should look as though you're not slowing down at all. You're maintaining the speed, but you're doing so in a much more relaxed manner, allowing you to stay upright, allowing you to stay in that top end speed mechanics, allowing you to hit those proper ground contact times, but doing so in a relaxed fashion to where you're not going to tighten up. And then with the last phase of sprinting after the float section, it's just a unique stimulus, because you're forcing yourself to almost in your head re-accelerate from an upright position, something that you don't really do a lot with any of the other drills I've discussed, or with most drills whenever it comes to sprinting. So it offers a unique stimulus, and it's just a great way of continuing to work max velocity mechanics and work on pushing your speed barrier. So like I said, I like sprint, float, sprint because you get the maximum velocity component. You get a section where you have to relax and keep your mechanics and keep that force production going strong, even while you're trying to stay relaxed and loose. And then lastly, you get the last section where you have to almost re-accelerate from an upright position, which is a unique training stimulus, and it's something I really like for improving top end speed. The last point I'm going to make about this is, for this drill, if you're keeping the sections between 10 and 20 meters, you are going to work a lot on top speed. It is going to be a little bit of speed endurance, but still you're getting a lot of maximum velocity components in there. If you start building up the distances to more like 30, 30, 30, like 30 meter sprint, 30 meters float, 30 meters sprint, now you're working a little bit more on pure speed endurance. So for the sake of maximum velocity, I would keep the distances relatively short, between 10 and 20 meters. So the next drill I'm going to talk about is sprinting with a short acceleration zone. So for example, if you have a 40 meter sprint zone, you would have a 10 to 15 meter acceleration zone. The reason why I like this is, with the acceleration zone, you're not going to get up to top speed, but you're going to get some momentum going into the sprint. So whenever you hit the zone, you're going to get up to top speed relatively quickly. You're going to hit that top speed, then you're going to work on maintaining it. But you also work on the transition phase, and the transition phase is where you go from acceleration to top end speed, and having a good transition phase is important for improving maximum velocity, and this drill really emphasizes that, because with a 10 to 15 meter acceleration zone, you're not going to have the time to build up to top speed, so you're not going to be at top speed when you hit the zone, making it different from a fly. But what you will have is enough momentum to really hit top speed early in the drill, but you still have to work on accelerating and then transitioning from your acceleration phase to your top end speed phase. So you get the benefit of working on your top end speed, but also your transition phase as well. And I like this drill just because it kind of mixes up the monotony of training. If you're always doing sprints or flies, it's a nice different training method you can do to mix it up a little bit, add a unique training stimulus, keep the variability within your training. And the last drill I'm going to talk about is wickets / mini hurdles / cone drills. You've seen me do these before. You've seen me talk about these before. All it is you set out your mini hurdle, your wicket, or your cone at a prescribed distance, and you just sprint over the cones. What I like about this drill is it's a drill that forces you to have closer to ideal mechanics, but in a way that you're not running so mechanically because you still have to actually move over the hurdles. With a lot of other sprint drills, you're doing them from a static or stationary position, which isn't specific because you're not having the type of force, the type of impulse associated with sprinting. But with this drill, you are, because you have to actually move fast over the obstacles. You have to still sprint, and you can't be too mechanical because you're still trying to move quickly over them. So you're working on reinforcing good form and closer to ideal mechanics, but you're doing so in a fashion where you actually still have to sprint, you still have to move your body through space, and you have to move quickly. And the other thing I like about this drill is it adds another unique training stimulus, adds an element of variability, because sometimes you might get into the monotony of training of just sprinting all the time on the track or on the field, and this is a great way of mixing it up, changing your stimulus, giving yourself a little bit of variability, and giving your brain kind of a challenge to move over this obstacle course in the fastest way possible. So yeah, that's the reason why I like wicket / mini hurdle / cone drills. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Those are my 5 favorite drills for improving maximum velocity. You have sprints where you hit max velocity and you're able to hold it and then cut off for deceleration. Flying sprints, sprint float sprint variations, sprints with a short acceleration into them, and then lastly wicket / cone / mini hurdle drills. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hope you can take these drills, put them in your training, and make yourself faster. Explosive movement patterns signing off. Peace.